Not all plants need a full year to reach maturity. By taking advantage of this, more and more gardeners choose to plant crops in succession, extending their growing season and thus getting more food from their gardens. You can do this by planting these crops as early as February to get an early start, but also by planting late fall crops in November. Here's a list of crops that you can still plant in November. Carrots. You can still plant carrots in early November if you live in a warmer climate. Carrots will need warm temperatures to sprout, but once they get going, they can continue to grow in colder weather. You can leave them in the ground over winter and just harvest when needed, as they will store perfectly in the cold soil. Radishes. Radishes enjoy the cold, rainy weather, so I recommend that you plant a few of these every week of November so you can have a constant supply of fresh radishes going into fall. Turnips. Turnips and beets are also fast-growing root vegetables that have enough time to mature until it gets too cold outside. Beans and peas. Some bush beans varieties are ready to harvest in just 48 days after planting. Planting a few of those will give you a nice fall harvest of beans. Just check the day to maturity date for the seeds you buy. The same goes for peas. Some varieties will have enough time to reach maturity before the temperatures drop too much. Cucumbers. If you don't live in a warm climate, you're pushing your luck with these ones, but you might still be able to harvest a few, especially if you have a greenhouse. We started ours as seedlings in mid-August and we're moving them inside the greenhouse towards the beginning of November. Kale. Kale is the most frost-resistant crop I've ever seen. We've had kale plants survive throughout the whole winter covered under snow in 17°C weather, so planting kale in November won't be an issue. Just keep it well watered to allow the plant to grow fast, and stop watering once the cold sets in. You can also cover kale with a light horticulture fabric to keep it safer during the winter, and it will continue to grow next season. Brassicas grow best in fall. Brassicas are cool weather crops. Some of them actually prefer early spring or late fall as their growing season. Some cabbage varieties have a short time to maturity, so those can be planted now. Broccoli and cauliflower are notorious for bolting in warm weather, so planting them in November is a great idea since they will be protected by the heat of early summer. Salad greens. Salad greens are another popular choice among gardeners for fall crops. Crops such as lettuce, spinach, and arugula can be sown in rows and harvested continuously by cutting the tops with a pair of scissors until the weather gets too cold and the plants wither. Some general tips for your fall crops. The seeds you sow now, during the last few hot days of summer, will require daily watering to make sure they survive the midday, so make sure you water your seedling every morning for the following couple of weeks until the plant's roots get a chance to dig deeper. If the weather forecast predicts a short cold snap, like overnight below freezing temperatures, you could cover your plants with horticultural fleece or a plastic sheet to maybe protect them overnight and keep them going for a few more days or weeks. Some of the late fall crops on this list will taste better after a cold snap. Kale and beets are just two examples of this. Experiment and see what you like. You can sow seeds under big summer crops that are almost ready to harvest, so they get a head start and sprout before you remove the big plant from that space. Now that you know what vegetables and root crops are suited for starting in November, it's up to you to decide what fall crops you want to grow this season. So that's it for today. If you like this video, then please hit the like and subscribe button for more videos. Thanks for watching.